Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. And we are here in the Novice League once more to see who moves on in the Novice League playoffs. I am your host, Gallium, joined by the one, the only, the commissioner of the league, Rockerman. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Gallium. A heartbreaker for my Genesis boys in the last one, but that was still a crazy intense matchup, and word on the street is that this one is gonna be very intense as well.
Yeah, it should be a pretty intense matchup between both of these sides. I mean, they're so similar in skill, in my opinion. Acceleration having Redwater, Sep, Jolly Rogers, Are You Fluffy, and the Vikings fielding a roster of CA7, also known as Cat, CJ Fire, YT, Brad McSnackrap, and It's Just Hunter. So it should be a good one. If we could pull up real quickly, we're not going to go through the playoff brackets as we've gone through it a lot already. If we could pull up the tail of the tape just real quickly to go take a look into both of these teams. Now, they are very similar in stats, and it is just so back and forth on who has the better stats. But overall, Vikings do, of course, have the better stats. They have won, I believe, 10 out of their last 11 games. So they are on an absolute tear, and acceleration coming into this game, I mean, they're looking pretty hot. They're looking pretty decently hot, and sneaking into that sixth spot, they're going to have to take on a very, very dominant Vikings team.
Yeah, this Vikings team has kind of surprised a lot of people with with their roster there, and kind of coming into its own really in the middle half of the season, going on an extreme tear. Their only loss in the last 11 games was a game 5 that was super close against, I believe it was Frost, that one was. But yeah, both these teams very solid, and you see a lot of well-known Nemesis names on that acceleration squad. Redwater, Septune, Jolly Rogers, Are You Fluffy? Those are some Nemesis legends going up against kind of the newbies on the pitch there. But it's gonna be, is a Nemesis experience gonna pay off, or is this chemistry, of this Viking squad gonna do it to them?
I mean, I have no clue because these playoffs have been an absolute roller coaster of emotions. So many things have happened, and you can't really predict Nemesis playoffs because it's just so crazy throughout, and especially in the Novice League. So we'll see how this one gets into play, as I accidentally put channel points on the wrong team. Speaking of channel points, please make sure to put your channel points down on either of the two teams because it's just a fun little thing. Channel points are pretty cool, and it's gambling that's legal. So cool beans over there, Rockerman.
Twitch endorsed gambling right there. So, but yeah, it should be a good one. I know you didn't get to this point yet, but about predictions here. I know where your prediction lies based on that hat. You're obviously, you got the snack on your hat. You're obviously going with Brad McSnackrap and the Vikings there. And you know what? I'm inclined to agree with you here as we're getting things underway. But honestly, acceleration, they could surprise here.
You know, I'm going the opposite way, actually, and I'm not sure a cheeseburger is a snack, so I'm going the other way with Sep and the boys. They're going to get it done. Acceleration, taking this one in 6, in my personal opinion, but we'll have to see, as we're already started off very strongly. Septune having a nice tribute to Brindy the Blade, who fortunately lost to Diffusion earlier on the Novice playoffs. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. But as of right now, a ball being sent up by the opposing player. Redwater can't quite find the touch. Instead, it's Jolly Rogers off the backboard. The ball is still floating in the Vikings half. Cat gonna take this touch, send it down. Jolly Rogers can't quite find that one. Redwater sending it out to the side. Brad McSnackrap, the best name in Nemesis, gonna send it out to Sep. Sep gets one, tries to get a second. He does. He's so quick to the ball. Can somebody find it for acceleration? Jolly Rogers just barely putting it off. Sep up once more with the dunk. He can't find it. Redwater can't get it to go, and oh boy, this one started off an absolute banger, Rockerman.
Yeah, that one was so close for acceleration. Jolly, he had the net. He was just trying to place it perfectly, and sometimes when you're trying to place it too perfectly, you can miss just a little bit off there as, oh, wait a minute, flip reset?
Almost.
Almost.
Almost is not good enough, as Redwater almost scored another goal for acceleration. It feels like they have so many opportunities. They get so close every time as Jolly Rogers takes it pop, and he's not going to quite find another one. Jolly Rogers last season was very good for his team. He teamed up with Brindy, and they played on the Slot Syndicate Novice team. So it was a fun ride for him, and I'm sure he wants to get a nice little playoff win to start things off. As oh my goodness, Brad McSnackbrack gonna try to send it towards the net. Jolly Rogers not gonna be able to make that touch. Instead, it's Cat. Redwater sends it down the pitch. Gonna grab that 100 boost. Let's see what he can do with it. Goes up. CJ Fire not able to get the touch. Cat gonna clear it up. Sepp in the midfield. He's gonna back off. Brad pops it high. Jolly Rogers gonna get a nice little backflip touch on that ball. Brad. He's gonna 50 out Jolly Rogers. They're just gonna keep battling for the ball. Jolly Rogers eventually gonna win with the best car design of the day, but Sepp is pretty close. Some odd cars here, Rocker Man. Is that something out of the ordinary for the Novice League?
Well, maybe not out of the ordinary for the Novice League, but what I will say is Jolly Rogers, he's sticking to his guns. He's always got a car like that. He's always taking a shot like this. Oh, almost gonna find the back of the net, but not quite. But yeah, Jolly Rogers always has that car. I don't think Sepp always has that car, but hey, whatever works here is he's trying to find the angle.
Actually, he does usually rock this car last season in the playoffs with Dorfin and the Ponds. He couldn't quite get it done as well. So a lot of revenge stories going into this season 9, a season of revenge, and Redwater gonna start things off in this first game of an absolute classic.
Yeah, this one just popped up by Sepp, and Redwater all over this one. Takes one controlled touch and then flicks. And well played there to put that one in the back of the net. And a great start here for Acceleration, their first goal of the playoffs.
First goal is such a crucial goal, especially with only 1 minute 45 seconds left in this one. CJ gonna try to get a touch. It's gonna go over to Brad. Now Cat with a shot. Oh, what a demo. Jolly Rogers, though, with a bang. Can CJ get back to it? He's almost gonna be able to with Jolly Rogers. Just the bigger car, and Mr. Cowboy goes to work.
Yeah, that's the Merc right there for you. CJ forced to race back after that big 50 and didn't quite get the clear he wanted. Jolly all over that one to put it in the back of the net, and 2-0 start here for Acceleration. And I mean, these two teams, Gallium, in their last and only meeting this season, they went to game number 5 with Vikings barely squeaking that one out. So, we could be in for a great series here if, things continue. And Acceleration, the lower seeded team, coming out with a punch.
Yeah, Acceleration, the only game I've seen from them this season was against Aurora in a regular season match where they handedly took down an Aurora squad who was pretty decent. So I think they are definitely somebody to look out for, as we see Sepp going to pop it high. Sepp going to try to go for another touch. Tries to pass it out to Redwater. CJ going to get a touch down the field. Redwater gets one more. Can he find another one? Jolly Rogers going to seal it from him. Cat off the backboard. Sepp gonna get a nice touch over to Brad, but Redwater with an amazing 50 off the backboard. It goes once more. Jolly Rogers can't quite find the shot. And with 40 seconds left, both teams just trying to find a goal here late.
Yeah, both are trying to find a goal here late. And oh, wait, actually, Vikings are going to find one here. CJ takes it down the pitch, and they're going to find their first goal of this match.
A little bit of a blunder on the defensive side for Acceleration, and that is going to lead to a very much needed Vikings goal off the back of CJ, who just takes the ball for a walk. And we have 33 seconds left in this one. We'll see which team could come on top here as Redwater gonna take a nice touch down the field. Jolly Rogers gonna intercept it, send it off the sidewall. Septune gets one. Can he get a second? He does. CJ now gonna take this boost from Jolly Rogers, but Jolly seems like he has enough in the tank. Cat now in the defensive zone, has 100 boosts. Can he get one more goal for this Vikings team, who ever so desperately needs it? 9 seconds left now. The Vikings need a goal. They're in this Acceleration zone. Brad misses his touch. 2 seconds left. Sepp is just going to pop it down to the ground, and what an amazing win for Acceleration to start things off here.
Yeah, that was a huge win for them in this one, coming out strong in game 1, and that's really what you got to do when it comes to the playoffs here. Come out strong in that game number 1 and kind of, assert yourself in this series, which is exactly what Acceleration did. And, Gallium, I think, going back to my earlier point, I do think it was a lot about, experience in these situations here. I mean, Acceleration, these guys have been around. Jolly Rogers been on the Vandals in numerous playoff runs. Septune, you mentioned, on Pawns, and Redwater has been around competing in the playoffs. I believe he was Bandits last season, competing. So, these guys know how to perform in the playoffs and know how to come up with a game one victory. Vikings, we don't know too, as much about them, in their performance here, but, they got one on the board, and, game one, a lot of times it's a feeler game. So we're gonna have to see if they, felt things out and if they can bounce it back here in game number two.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to see there, as it is on stream, it is a playoff game, so I think honestly it is just gonna be, I think nerves controlled that game, you can kind of tell. So if there was any game for the Vikings to really come back into this one, it's gonna be this game, as both teams are ready now and they're about to kick off game number 2, and we're taking it to the train station downtown Rockerman. Do you have a prediction for us?
Well, I think Vikings are going to bounce back in this game, Gallium. I don't know what the score is going to be specifically, but I have a feeling the Vikings are going to give us a series here. I think they're going to come out and shake off a bit of these nerves, and really, I think they're going to give give Acceleration a little something here, and I think we're going to see a lot better performance from them in this one.
Yeah, that might as well be the case, as Jolly almost gets a touch on that one. Can't quite find it. Now Brad can't quite find his touch as well. Redwater tries to go for a dribble. It is unsuccessful. Instead opts for the demo. Sepp backs it up slowly, trying to take control of this ball. He does. Gets bumped away almost immediately. CJ Fire gets one touch, gets a second, popped up high. CA7, the Catman can't quite get to that one. Brad, though, with an amazing pass. Cat, perfect placement. And wow, what a way to start things off for Vikings.
Yeah, they started off strong. It's just some great offensive pressure. And you see Brad, he sends it back in, and Cat just looking for that bottom right corner and just enough to get it in. And, that's the start you need here. Bring it back here. Started out strong in game number 2, and that's what they did.
Yeah, I think, honestly, Vikings, they needed that goal. And what a way to start things off, especially after losing that last game. And we'll only see the momentum go up from here for the Vikings if they can score another one, and I think that is in their distant future, or in their near future rather, if Acceleration keeps getting on the back foot here. The defensive rotations haven't really been the cleanest, but Jolly Roger's gonna get a nice demo to clear things out. Sepp gets one touch. Brad gonna pop it down for Sepp, and oh my goodness, that was an accidental double there, but hey, you got a lot of power on it. CJ gonna send it down. Sepp gonna corral this one. Cat up off the ceiling to Redwater. Sepp can't quite find the touch. Instead, it's Cat. Cat now has to retreat back for boost in his own end. He's going to opt to hit the ball instead. A nice control from him. He's going to continue to take this ball down into the Acceleration zone. Can he find something? Sepp going to defend it right back out. And Rockerman, with a little over 3 minutes left in this game, who do you see scoring this next goal?
I mean, right now, the Vikings and Acceleration, actually both of them had some good opportunities on both sides. It's just about breaking through. You see an Acceleration. We're going to take this one through. Is this? Oh, no. What? What just happened right there? Redwater gets the goal, and what in the world was that?
That's Novice for you. If you're wondering how this league operates, that is just, I just can't even begin to explain how unfortunate that goal was. But hey, that's just how the league works, and what a lucky break for Acceleration. We'll see if they can't get another goal here to extend their lifespan here in this game number 2. Brad gonna take a touch. Jolly bumps him off of it though. Redwater takes a touch of his own, tries to control it, but CJ says no. Sepp now off his own backboard. The pop down to Cat. Oh my goodness, what a pass from him, and oh no, Brad couldn't quite find the back of the net, but he has another opportunity. A great ball down the pitch. Almost gets a second touch. That would have been gross. Cat now sends it to the sidewall. CJ tries to find a teammate. Can't quite find it. Then finds an Acceleration member in Sepp. Sepp now down the pitch. He goes. He gets a touch. Back out to Jolly Rogers, who can't quite find that one. Cat gonna go for that demo. Can he get it? Oh, unfortunately for him, he cannot. But now it's a counterattack the other way. Acceleration in a 2v1 situation. Oh my goodness, he's just so big. He can't quite find it. Sepp can't find it either. It's a battle in the Viking zone. Oh my goodness, that was so close.
Oh my goodness, and there was like 6 people on that ball right there at the very end, Gallium, and that's the counterattack play style. You go for a demo, you sell out, and then on the other end, you have to race back on defense, which the Vikings did just enough to get back on defense there, but it was dangerous. And now with a minute and a half remaining here, Acceleration, they've had their opportunities, so have Vikings, and really it's just going to come down to seems like what's going to be one mistake or one demo like that to open up some space.
Yeah, I think that is definitely going to be the key. Is Cat going to go for a solo play himself? Very mechanical player. Unfortunately, not going to get it. Cat now, he's going to rotate off, let Brad cook up for a little bit. He has an opportunity with a lot of boost. He's not going to be able to get it. Redwater going to get a demo onto CJ. Jolly Rogers and Cat going to 50 it out. Sep going to send it down the field. CJ gets a touch instead off the ceiling. It goes. Sep finds one more. And Brad is just getting absolutely pummeled. Everybody's getting pummeled by Jolly Rogers. Very adept to demoing. Redwater has a counterattack the other way. Gonna try to get a pass. What a pop that was. But Brad gonna attempt to get it clear. Now Sep over to Jolly Rogers. He has some time. He's gonna pop it once. Cat is gonna beat him up to that one. Great defense on his part. 40 seconds left. Can one of these teams find the goal so they don't go into overtime? Or will they go into overtime? Brad can't find a touch. Jolly Rogers almost puts that one in the back of his own net. Septune up with the ball. Over to Brad. Brad gets a shot, and that net is wide open. Where is the defense?
Yeah, the defense caught lacking here. You see Sep go out, and then Redwater tries to go up, and I think it was the third there from Acceleration, just getting a little too far on that one out of net there, and Brad, right place, right time, good shot, and they take the lead here.
A very crucial lead for this Vikings team who, if this lead holds, the series will be tied. And that is a good sign for things to come for the Vikings as Cat going to take a touch in the acceleration zone once more. The ball is floating. CJ, the placement is impeccable.
Yeah, and there is the dagger right there in this game as, you know, double commit comes through. They're trying to just make sure they clear this one out, but instead they set it up for CJ Fire, who shoots that one bottom right. Great placement, and yeah, Vikings looking like they're going to come through with this Game 2 victory and tie this series up in one piece.
A very big Game 2 victory for them as they're making, almost made an attempt to make it 4-1, but that the ball is going to be popped down. Brad, he can't quite find it. Multiple opportunities to score there, but alas, it does not matter as both these teams tied here in our second Novice League matchup of the night.
Yeah, and this one, crazy game there. I mean, Vikings, they came back very strong and did exactly what they needed to do there to bring this one back. And, you know, just a very solid performance from them. And, you know, it's an interesting game, and you see the scoreline. Jolly Rogers, don't want to hate on the man, but only 44 points there. You're gonna see more from him. He is the Nemesis demo leader in demos per game. He's got 2.69 demos per game. He got 2 in that last game, so his job is about those demos. Those demos don't really count for points, unless you get a exterminator, but you know, then you need 7. But regardless, you know, maybe we need to see a little bit more on the offensive end from Jolly to try to help out his team a little bit more. And you know, Vikings, you gotta bring it back here in this Game 3.
Yeah, you definitely have to bring it back, and one way to do that is just honestly, the defensive rotations were a little atrocious from Acceleration late into that game, and I think you have to clean it up. And as I said before, Novice is all about who can make the least amount of mistakes, and so far in the series, it's been the Vikings. They made the least amount of mistakes, and I think if they keep making the least amount of mistakes, they're going to have a better chance to win this series.
Yeah, definitely so. And into this Game 3, it's a crucial game. It's obviously a longer series than your normal best of 5s, so it's not quite the pivot point here. But you know, it is one of those important games where, you know, you want to win this one. Get yourself up 2-1 in this series. Give yourselves a great opportunity in this series. So both these teams will be fighting for it. And Brad mixed that crap. He couldn't quite finish the goal in the last game, but he does right here. Puts that one in the back of the net.
Man, what a shot from him. He just gets up there and beats out Sep, slots it in the back of the net, and yet again, the defense just caught out once more. Acceleration, they have to clean it up if they want to have a chance to take on the Vikings in this Game 3, because it looks like even though the Vikings have 1 goal, they might run away with this one.
Yeah, definitely. They've got the momentum for sure on their side and looking for another one here. But oh my goodness, what a save. Septune coming up clutch on the goal line. I thought for sure the Vikings were about to make it 2-0 there, but a huge defensive play. And yeah, Acceleration, they've got to be careful not to get suffocated. They did a really good job in Game 1 of, you know, being able to get on their own offensive zone. But the latter half of that Game 2, there just no offensive pressure, you know. And it just really allowed Vikings to thrive as they keep putting on this pressure here. Another opportunity, but Jolly gonna save it away only for a moment though, as Sepp, it's still dangerous out of the midfield, and the shot finally comes through. Brad McSnackram strikes back.
It's just a matter of time before Brad is heating up here, and now that he's finally warmed up and ready to go, oh my goodness. It's just so unfair with him warm and ready to go, and I mean, he's just so good for this team so far. He has a 100% shooting percentage, and there's been 5 shots for Vikings to acceleration 0. So it's been definitely change of pace the last couple of games as Brad trying to take a shot there. It's now down to Cat, who gets a nice little pinch towards net. Saved out. Brad now off the backboard. Over to Redwater. Gives it over to CJ. Cat has some time, but not too much time as Jolly Rogers absolutely floats towards that one. And speaking of floating, Redwater sent all of his boost towards that. Same with Sepp. Acceleration just trying to clamp down on the Vikings in their own zone. Not a horrible strategy here as it's worked in the past. Now it's Cat. Pops it high. This could lead to a goal here if Acceleration aren't careful. Redwater has it above his car. Cat with a beautiful demo. Now it's Brad. Off the backboard it goes. Jolly Rogers going to make a touch. Sepp unfortunately can't make his, and oh my goodness, what a pinch. Oh no! That is the second unfortunate goal of the series.
Oh no, and that's a Novice moment right there. And you see Redwater, I think, does he get bumped? He gets bumped, yeah, by Jolly there. It just clipped him in the back corner of his car there and right into the ball, and that is calamity for Acceleration.
No.
Whoa, what is that?
Oh, wait a second.
What is that?
What? What? Wait. Did both of them intentionally miss? What is Jolly doing? What kind of kickoff strategy is that? But it works. It gets his team on the board.
Hey man, you know, when you're in a game like this, Gally, I mean the playoffs, you got to pull out all the stops right there, and you know that was a stop of all time.
Jolly Rogers really put it on a performance. Said, "Ahoy, matey! Let me show you how it's done." And I mean, what a great kickoff from him. But they are still down by 2, so we'll see if they can't come back in this one. Redwater going to put it up for Jolly Rogers, trying to get his another goal on the score sheet. Brad now pops it high over to Redwater, who finds the touch down the field. Now Cat has to retreat back. CJ Fire rather, going to try to get to that one. Jolly Rogers up with the ball. What a shot! And oh man, Jolly Rogers having himself a game.
He is having himself a game. I called in him. I want to see a little bit more from him on the offensive end, and you know we've seen some things from him in this game, especially that shot right there. And you know, right when it seemed like the Vikings, you know, they had their pressure and they were kind of locking him down. I thought, you know, in my mind, Galen, I was trying to think, you know, if the Acceleration can't get out, it might be timeout time, really. But you know, they have battled back here with 2 goals, and yeah, a great opportunity for a third right here. Is the ball floating out of the midfield, placement from Sepp, and they quickly come back to tie it in a flurry.
Wait a second, Acceleration, they're going fast as their name suggests, and that ball was sent in the back of the net with velocity. A lot of Nemesis puns there, a little too much for me, but hey, let's get back to the game at hand. It's a 3-3 game. Definitely going to be an absolute barn burner to the very end as Brad's going to send a shot early on. Vikings still not down and out after being scored on 3 goals in a row rather. Redwater down the pitch. Brad McSnackram gonna get that one. Redwater sends it up high off the backboard. Water falling down. Gonna be hit away. Sepp off the sidewall. CJ Fire down to Cat. Can Cat get a nice redirect? He hits the ball, but wait a second. That almost worked out, but unfortunately not gonna travel to the back of the net for Vikings. But Sepp gets a nice touch out. Sepp trying to get another one. Unfortunately, the ball-on-ball contact did not work for him. Redwater sent down the pitch. Cat gonna get a nice touch on that one. Sepp up for it once more. Off the ceiling it goes. Jolly Rogers can't find his touch. Set down the field, over to the sidewall. CJ Fire gets a nice bang out. And with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, I'm not quite sure who's gonna win this one.
Yeah, no, like I said, I for sure thought it was gonna be the Vikings there, but Acceleration just absolutely just a flurry of goals, 3 in a row, and they've had 3 unanswered now as they're looking for 4, and you know, they might have the pressure here. Here comes Sepp for the shot, but the Vikings collide to pinch that one out, and with a minute remaining, you know, I would say, Galeb, your guess is as good as mine. This can really go either way. Both teams having great opportunities.
Yeah, oh my goodness, an opportunity here. Sepp can't quite have the boost to find that one. Redwater misses his touch. CJ down the pitch he goes. Gonna try to find one more. Jolly Roger's gonna 50 him out. CA7, the Catman, up for that one. Jolly Roger's gonna 50 him out. CJ Fire misses his touch. It's now Redwater to try to get a nice bang. He does. Sepp can't quite find the back of the net. Instead, it floats right down to Jolly, who gets a nice pop-up for CJ Fire. How kind of you, Redwater. To the other side, Sepp and Brad gonna 50 each other out, but wait a second, what a pass from Sepp. Brad on the other end, gonna try to 50 him out. He does. CJ Fire has some time on the shot. He's gonna not have the best shot. Brad sends it down. Sepp sends it down once more, and oh, the ball is still not on the turf yet. Jolly Rogers trying to get a pinch. He does. Off the ceiling it goes. Cat over to Jolly Rogers. He's gonna pop it up for Redwater. Wait a second, Redwater can't really find that touch. Instead, it's gonna be popped down to the ground, and Rockerman, we have overtime.
Yeah, overtime here in game number 3, and it was definitely unexpected here, in my opinion, with how the game started. But Acceleration, they battled back, and then, I mean, Gallium, there was 6 goals scored probably in, the first like 2 minutes there. It seemed like Vikings scored 3 really quick, then Acceleration 3 really quick back, and then it kind of went down into a little bit of a lull, and now we're heading in overtime. And, it's going to take one mistake, one demo to open up the spaces. This one's off the backboard. Dangerous ball. The follow-up. Oh, not going to go there, but close opportunity as Acceleration. They've been pushing it.
Yeah, they've been pushing it real hard, and we'll see if there is any sort of break coming out for the Vikings, or will Acceleration get their 4th goal in a row? We'll see as Redwater sends it out to CJ Fire. CJ Fire down the pitch. Off the backboard it goes. Cat pops it high. Brad now gets one touch to the backboard. Redwater now sends it down. Can he get another? He almost does. It's now up to Brad and Jolly Rogers to 50 it out. Redwater can't quite find the touch. Cat has a lot of time to work with here and a lot of boost. He pops it high once more. Now it's up to Sepp to get a nice touch. He does. CJ Fire sends it down the pitch. Redwater can't quite find a touch. Now it's up to Jolly Rogers to 50 it out. Big body. Of course he's going to get the 50 on that one. Redwater, again, with another bang. Brad, a little uncomfortable now. Sepp with a bang. And Sepp finishing this one out for Acceleration. What a shot.
Yeah, Redwater just sends this one down, and Brad just not the touch he was looking for there. It sets up his teammate in a tough spot there, and CJ, nothing to do there as Sepp puts an absolute placer of a shot there in the bottom right, and Acceleration. I mean, that is a massive game win right there, Gallium. And they kind of just came here and just gave the Vikings an uppercut right there, right to the throat there, as they were up 3-0. Seemed like they had it in the bag, and then 4 unanswered.
I'll tell you what the key was. The defensive front, really, from Acceleration. I mean, they had 7 saves to Vikings 3. I mean, they really put on one heck of a performance there. And I think, honestly, the key for any team, if you want to be successful in the defensive zone, you have to have good rotations. And they struggled at first, but they cleaned it up. And look what happened. I mean, they didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. The defensive rotations were nice, and they won the game, Rockerman.
Yeah, they did. And, how heading into this game number 4, they have an opportunity to put themselves on a match point here and get them one win away from the semifinals, pulling a little bit of this upset here, the 6th seed upset. But Vikings, they are not going to give in that easy. We've seen them fight here, and fight they will here to the very end.
Yeah, we'll see if their name implies a fight, and I think it will. He took the shot a little too early. Didn't know how much time he had, but Redwater, the other end, try to get a touch. Brad gonna get a nice bang himself. Sepp now 50s it out with Brad, and ball is just seeming to fly everywhere. Redwater with another clear. Can he get the follow-up? No, he cannot. Brad tries to find a touch. CJ Fire over to Cat. It just barely misses. Jolly Roger's going to have to get the clear. CJ Fire there to recover that one. Redwater, a little bit of an awkward situation. CJ Fire up to Brad McSnap grab. Redwater down the pitch once more. It's Water versus Fire, the elemental battle, and looks like Water won that one, but Sepp can't find that touch. Jolly Rogers, off the backboard it goes. Redwater sends it to the sidewall. It's now up to CJ to get a nice touch, and he doesn't find it. And with a little over a minute elapsed in this game 4 Rockerman, what are your thoughts?
I mean, so far it's been, another close game. Both these teams have had opportunities. This ball's just floating over there, and it's really been interesting. I feel like Gallium, these two teams are very, very evenly matched. As here comes another shot, Brad McSnackcraft. He has been the goal scorer here in these latter couple games, and another big one right here off this great pass.
Yeah, a great pass from CJ Fire over to Brad, and Brad's going to put that away every day of the week for this Vikings team. And now they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to really take this this series back into their control once more. I feel like even though they never really had control games-wise, felt like when they tied up the series, felt like a relief. Oh, but did he pre-jump that? If that went in, that would have been one of the more insane goals we've seen. And at the other end, the Vikings starting a little bit of pressure there. Brad gonna pass it back. Brad tries to get one more touch, and he's gonna end up doing so. Jolly Rogers with a touch of his own over to Sep, but Jolly Rogers gonna put it in himself, and it looks like the acceleration going on a little bit of a voyage.
Yeah, and take notes, kids. This is why you don't bring the ball over your net right there. If you're going to take it back in your zone, just try to get it away from out in the middle of the field there, because that's what Brad did. He took it out in the middle of the field, no boost to work with, and he did not have a ability to follow that one, and that's it's a big reason why you don't take it over your own net there. And Jolly Rogers, all he had to do was touch it, and it fell in the back of the net.
Yeah, great from him, and capitalizing on mistakes has been really strong for acceleration throughout this series. I'm hoping to continue to see that as it progresses. Sep gonna bang it downfield. Brad gonna be there to recover that one. Gonna rotate back. He's gonna get a nice little touch off to the sidewall. Gets one more. What a bang from him. Can he keep it going? Not so fast as Redwater gets a nice touch. Oh my goodness! Brad having himself in some insane reads. Hopefully one of his reads can find the back of the net. This Redwater, absolute missile down the field. He's been very monstrous with these clears. What a game and what a series he's had so far. Jolly Rogers pops it high. CJ Fire gonna get the pop up. Redwater there to meet him. And now Jolly Rogers in an awkward position is gonna go for a demo here and not gonna quite get it. Instead gets the bump. Redwater gonna play it safe. Cat has an opportunity, but Jolly Rogers, the demo leader, gonna take that one away. Redwater gonna pop it up. Jolly Rogers getting a touch, and oh my goodness! Oh, the placement.
Oh, that was such a well-placed shot for Jolly Rogers. You can't place it any better there. Look at this one. Over the defender, off the post, and in. Just a slight little kiss there on the post. And he puts it in, and what a shot there from him. Jolly Rogers, really, Gallium, I called his name after that Game 2 loss, and, he said, all right, Rocker Man, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, can you really blame him? Because it has been so good from him. You can see the confidence, too. He shot it over his own teammate as well. That is just how confident he is. So we'll see if that continues on, as Jolly Rogers is going to miss his touch. Now it's up to Cat. Down the pitch he goes. Cat over to CJ Fire. The pop-up. Jolly Rogers is going to be there to recover that one. Jolly Rogers having a great defensive performance as well. Recorded his first save of this game, but had many more in the games previous. Redwater gets it high. CJ pops it up. Jolly Rogers gets another bang. And what a clear from Cat. Vikings holding strong here. They need to get a goal, though, if they want to remain in this series. Cat pops it high. The mechanics really showing off. He can't quite find another touch. Brad now down the pitch he goes. Oh my goodness, wait a second. That almost went in the back of the net. That would have been super unfortunate. Instead, it's going to be Sep with a nice bang over to Redwater. Oh, what a missed opportunity there. Almost snuck in the back of the net. And with 35 seconds left, Vikings trying to find a goal here. Wondering if they will, but we're going to have 30 seconds to figure that out. CJ Fire over to Sep. The 50 going out. Cat now over to Redwater. Redwater going to try to find the read. He does, but it's going to be a slow ball for a little while as Sep gonna clear it out. Jolly Rogers with a bang. Cat, can he get back to it? He doesn't need to as it goes off. But Redwater with a shot! And the placement, it's just too good for acceleration.
Yeah, they've had some really great play shots here as this one bounces up, and Redwater just popping this one up, looking for that upper 90. And Cat just can't get it out, and acceleration about to go down 3-1 in this series. Or acceleration about to go up 3-1 in this series, and I mean, they've just done a great job battling back here after that game 2 loss to Gallium, and they've done just about everything right. Is this one gonna fall down and
Oh,
in? Another goal goes through.
man, the team chemistry from Acceleration is what really is impressing me right now. I mean, they're not necessarily the most mechanical players ever, but they've had some of the cleanest rotations I think I've seen in Novice this season, and it's really impressing me how well they play around with each other. As one more second on the clock, this ball is going to drop in Acceleration now. 3-1 series lead, as you mentioned. Will the Vikings call a timeout,
You
or
gotta.
will Acceleration keep this train a chugging?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Vikings here, you gotta call the timeout at this point. You're down 3-1 in this series. You gotta pull it back at this point. So I 100% expect the timeout. We're gonna see if the call comes through from these guys. But you know, honestly, Gallium, I feel like in these games here, it's been Acceleration has been just countering the Vikings a lot better than than the other way around. I mean, really, I would have expected the Vikings, winners of their last
Oh,
10 of their
timeout.
last 11, as the timeout does come through on that one. I would have expected a lot more from the Vikings, but I feel like they're just getting shut down in every opportunity, and I wonder if it's the demos from Jolly or what it is here.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly the key here is Acceleration's pace. And like their name suggests, they're very speedy. They get to the ball very quickly, and it's throwing the Vikings off. It's throwing them for a loop, and the defense has been exceptional for Acceleration. I mean, even though their defensive rotations early on were a little bit suspect, they've really cleaned it up, and they've become a defensive mastermind. And I think, honestly, another attributing factor is the amount of clears they're getting. Redwater, I feel like every time I say his name, he's just sending the ball down the pitch. I mean, there's not much else you can have from one of your star players.
Yeah, I mean, he is that star player there for Acceleration. I mean, he's that guy. I mean, he's dropped down. The more boundaries have obviously changed, but from a while ago, obviously the boundaries have gotten a lot higher. The skill has gotten a lot higher in some of these lower leagues. But he was a former challenger player at one time, so he does have that experience in the higher levels of play. And it's kind of showing here tonight. But really, I mean, Acceleration just. I mean, all things considered, just solid all around, capitalize on mistakes, and just really not letting the Vikings get going. And it's worked out for them here. And now we got to see, what's gonna happen here. The Vikings have to come back from a 3-1 deficit here, and they got to start right here in game number 5.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens, but as of right now, Acceleration has their foot on the pedal here, and Jolly Roger's going for his signature kickoff. I mean, that has to be patented. I think if Acceleration win this series, Jolly Roger's kickoff will be a meme for the ages. It has actually worked this series, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And I believe actually John Sandman, popular YouTuber in the Rocket League community, used that kind of kickoff. So great stuff from Jolly Rogers. Always a delight to watch. And Acceleration having a really good showing right now is, oh my goodness, the placement. But what an even better save from CJ Fire, saving his team from a 1-0 deficit early.
Yeah, that would have been just an absolute heartbreaker if you're the Vikings here to lose the lead here this early off of that goal. But an absolutely massive save, and now they're trying to fight back on the other end. And yeah, that's really what they got to do. They got to get back to this offensive zone, because we when these guys are winning, we've been seeing them play well together and just play so great, suffocating teams in the Novice League. And here they come, firing back. And speaking of fire, it's CJ Fire putting it in.
CJ Fire having himself a game so far, had that clutch save, and why not add a clutch goal on top of that with a great pass from Cat, the assist man, coming in to save the day. And Vikings now up 1-0. We'll see if this lead holds, because they're going to definitely need it. They're going to have to win 3 games in a row to beat this Acceleration team. We'll see if that is possible as Cat sends it down. Redwater going to get a nice touch. CJ Fire going to be there to meet him. Off the ceiling it goes. Brad, a nice bang down the pitch. Sepp now. It goes down to Cat. Sepp going to turn on this one. He gets it past Cat. Can't get it past Brad, though. Beautiful defensive play in his own right. Demoed. Unfortunately now, Sepp off the backboard. Can there be a shot? Unfortunately not. Redwater Can't quite find that one. As Jolly Roger's gonna have himself a shot. Redwater can't quite turn on that one in time. Cat now bangs it down the pitch. Sep gonna be easily there to retain that one. Gonna get a second touch, actually, and Brad gonna find a touch of his own. And the defense has been really stellar from both of these teams. And what do you think you have to do to break through if you're either Acceleration or the Vikings here, Ruckerman?
I mean, it's been for Acceleration, it's been those demos. Jolly Rogers, you know, we talked about it, the leader in demos per game and all of Nemesis here. So for the man to get some demos, it opens up space, and there he is trying to wipe another one off the pitch. But for the Vikings here, you got to get around these demos. You know, when people do go for those demos, it leads to getting them out of position. So capitalize on Jolly being out of position, and you know, find your teammates here with some good passing plays.
Yeah, that is something you have to look forward to. Is for the Vikings, I think it is very remarkable how they've come this far, because I cannot remember the last time they had a winning record. So to have them in the playoffs at such a comfortable seed as well as such a good thing to see. And if they want to remain in the playoffs, they're going to have to beat a very formidable Acceleration team. And we're just seeing it all unfold here as Sep going to go up for this one, tries to get it past Cat. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to go. Jolly Rogers with an attempted hit. He's not going to find that. Instead, it's Brad off the sidewall, has no boost to work with. Redwater now over to Sep. Sep can't quite find that, but it's back over to Redwater. Oh my goodness, Brad almost bumped his own teammate. CJ over Sep. Jolly Rogers with a bang. It's going to be saved by Cat. Sep now with a shot, and CJ Fire with another save. Vikings really showing up on the defensive end so far.
Yeah, they really have, and that's what they needed here. Acceleration has had such a good offensive performance the last couple games here, and the Vikings, they got to lock down in the defense, and they've done just that. And right now they're holding on to this one-goal lead here as they find a demo there to clear out a little bit of space. But, you know, I want to see them add a little padding on this one, Gallium. It does not feel safe with the way Acceleration has been able to score at will.
No, it definitely does not feel safe, and something to note is both of these sides do in fact have the same amount of shots. So it is very even in the shots department, but it doesn't feel so even lately as Acceleration has definitely stepped things up. Brad now over to Sep. Sep in his own zone. Gonna get 50 out for CJ. That could be dangerous. Cat now over to Jolly Rogers, who's gonna find CJ. Now Jolly has a free shot, and a defensive blunder leads to another Jolly Rogers masterclass.
Yeah, and CJ just doesn't know if he should follow up on the second ball here. He's expecting a shot right away, but Gallium, the shot just comes through from Jolly. He puts it in, it takes his time, patient shot, and you know, that is the experience right there. To know when you have time to take a shot and to know when you got to push it. You know, you saw it there from Jolly Rogers, and a huge goal. And now, if they can score one more, it might just send them on to the semifinals.
It might just do that. And Acceleration, can't remember the last time they've been in the semifinals of playoffs. It's been a minute, as both these teams a little unfamiliar to the playoffs, but glad they're here now, and they're putting on one heck of a performance as Sep up with the ball. Cat, he's gonna fake out Cat. Sep gets it past CJ. Now it's Jolly Rogers. He's gonna find a touch. With 10 seconds left, can Acceleration find one more in the back of the net to prevent this overtime and take the series win? Redwater with a shot over to Brad. Brad with the attempted clear. Redwater's going to send it back to Jolly, who pops it up high. Sep's already up for it. Sep, almost had a lucky bounce for him, but it's going to be sent down, and we have overtime, Ruckerman.
We have overtime, and the season is on the line for the Vikings here. They gotta play solid. They are so, you can tell they're terrified. Gallium as that ball just gets by all three of them. They have the nerves right here, but can they lock in? Can they play solid? You know, you can't be too scared to go for this ball. Someone has got to go for it. You know, don't get out of your zone. Do what's led you to this point here, this entire season. Keep it going here and take this overtime. Send us to Forbidden Temple, but Acceleration, they are not going to give up, and they're going to push the pace. That is for sure here.
Yeah, as we see, finally the Vikings having some offense here, as it's immediately cleared out. Jolly Rogers can't quite find the touch. Sep, the third man, going up for it. Redwater with a redirect. Oh, very dangerous, but Brad gonna clear it away with efficiency. Sep, off the ceiling it goes. Jolly Rogers with a nice bang. Can he get a second touch? He's gonna be up for it. Oh my goodness, that was almost a shot on net. Sep Oh, if that's going to waterfall down, can Sepp find another shot? It's not going to go for him. Redwater playing a very defensive third. He's been so good all series long. In my opinion, Acceleration's best player and just the glue to their offense, holding it down in the back line. Jolly Rogers sends it down. CJ to get a nice pop. Oh my goodness, CJ! Oh, to extend the Vikings' life, he puts a shot in the back of the net.
Yeah, he beats by 2 defenders here in the third one. They've got a challenge, but they're not quick enough. Redwater can't get to it, and CJ Fire, he wants Forbidden Temple. He wants to keep this thing alive, and he wills his team there to a Game 5 victory.
What a performance from CJ Fire. 2 goals, 1 save, 3 shots. One heck of a performance by him. Essentially just putting his team in the backpack, and I feel like it wasn't necessarily a skill thing. I think it was just a mental thing with Kat and Brad. I feel like they got a little nervous there. You can kind of tell on the defensive side, obviously, with Sepp sending that ball across the net early on in overtime. They're a little they're panicking a little bit in the defensive zone. You don't want to have that. So CJ Fire took it in his own hands, and what a performance by him. And Vikings still in this one. Can Acceleration close it out in Forbidden Temple, or will Vikings send this one into Game 7?
I mean, we've seen 3-1 leads be blown this playoff season, Gallium, and we've also seen a 3-1 lead not quite get blown. We saw the Wisp shut down Genesis's attempt in the last one in Game 6. So, I mean, this is a huge one for Acceleration. You got to stop the momentum right here. Do not let the Vikings get going early. And if you're the Vikings, come out with that first goal. That is your entire goal right here. If I was them, trying to pull it back from, a tough situation where you're down in the series, you got to come out with the first goal. Come out strong, show the other team that you're here to play. The momentum's still yours, and you can keep it going.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the key for this Vikings squad. We'll see if there's any changes going into this Forbidden Temple match. Crazy things happen on Forbidden Temple. We'll see if things get a little crazy in this best of 7 series, as Acceleration has a 3-2 lead over Vikings. Seth has a nice touch on the ball. CJ gonna 50 him out. Now Jolly Rogers with 1 finds a second. Jolly Rogers trying to find a third. It's not gonna go. Sepp now off the sidewall. He can't quite find it. Cat on the other side. Cat finds it off the backboard. Brad off the ceiling. Can anybody turn for this? It's going to be Jolly Rogers on the defensive side. The overextending is not happening for the Vikings, which is a good sign, but somebody needed to put that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and you got to capitalize on your opportunities here. This is not the time to be passive, not the time to make mistakes, as your season is on the line here of your Vikings. And as I mentioned, you really got to come up with the first goal. And this one, it might not be it. No, it's going to be Acceleration, and Sepp is going to be the one to put it in.
What an excellent strike from Sepp off the Jolly Rogers pass, the sidewall. I mean, so great from him. We've seen him really step up in this series. He's a great shooter, and he's so fast. I mean, you really don't think that Scarab can travel until it does, and he makes that thing fly. And with a 1-0 lead, Acceleration looking to have a chokehold on this series as Jolly Rogers finds 1 touch. Redwater going to be there to defend, and he's going to have to defend well. Gets it past CJ. Redwater finds 1 touch. Can he get it past the Vikings? No, he can't. Brad makes stack wrap with a nice touch. Sepp now on the opposite end. Cat gonna try to defend that one. Brad misses his touch. Jolly Rogers with a shot, trying to go up high. CJ with a great save again. Redwater with a, oh my goodness. Was that a double save from CJ? What a performance from him in this game number 6.
Oh my goodness, that was huge. It was a double save. He fell onto that second ball. Maybe not quite super intentional, but he was just doing enough to float in his zone, just stay in the way. And that's exactly what he needed to do. But now, for the Vikings, you got to answer back quick, Gallium. You can't let this lead fester, because Acceleration, the longer this goes on, the more confident they get and the more nervous the Vikings will get. As this one out of the midfield, opportunity for a shot, and it's Cat putting it in the back of the net.
Cat, what an amazing shot. There was no room for error there. CJ with a beautiful double tap. What a series he's having as of recent. A great performance from him, and Cat with the great shot. And the airstrike goal explosion, very fitting to how he's been absolutely striking the ball in the back of the net as Sepp pops it up high. Can Cat get to this ball? Of course he can. Redwater pops it high once more. Jolly Rogers with an attempted touch. He's not going to find it. Sepp trying to turn on this one. He's going to go for the late challenge. Very smart move on his part, trying to buy his teammates time to get back. Sepp tries to find another one. Jolly Rogers up high. Pops it up for Redwater. Redwater gets 50'd out from CJ. Sepp can't find one touch. Instead, he's going to recover and find one more touch. Brad McSnackbrat, the best name in Nemesis, once more. Gonna get one touch. And now it's over to Sepp on the defensive
Dangerous.
side. CJ with a shot and the placement. CJ just willing his team to a series win at this point.
Yeah, and it's Cat wiping out Redwater. Seth can't get the touch he's looking for, and that last defender, who would have been right in that spot right there, has been erased. And of course, CJ Fire, the man, the myth, the legend, he has come up big time and time again right there, and no bigger goal than that one to give his team the lead in Game 6.
Yeah, what a great performance from him. But Sepp, oh man, what a performance from him this game. This is his second goal of the game.
Yeah, this is just a snipe here from Sepp. He knows he's got a great opportunity, just get some power, and CJ does all that he could there to get to it, but it wasn't quite meant to be. Sepp with an absolute banger. He ties it right back up. Don't let the Vikings, get too much momentum there, as they shut it down immediately.
As, Sepp having himself a performance. It seems like Sepp versus CJ Fire here in this Game 6 in Forbidden Temple. This is about as wacky as you can get, as CJ almost puts that one in the back of the net. Cat now off the sidewall. Can he find a touch? He does. A very nice pass. Jolly Rogers gonna get a nice touch. Brad pops it up high off the ceiling. Redwater now gonna send it down the pitch. The ball is rolling over to Cat, who gets a nice touch for Redwater with a shot. Luckily, CJ was back for that one. Sepp up to CJ, off the ceiling it goes. Sepp and Jolly Rogers gonna pop it up high over to Cat. Redwater on the defense. He switched to the skyline. A very long body car. It's paying in dividends so far. Sepp gonna send it down. Brad off the sidewall. Can anybody find this ball? It's going to be CJ Fire, but it's going to be a pass actually over to Jolly Rogers, trying to go to the back of the net. It's not going to go for him. And the ball is just in the Viking zone. Oh my goodness. Shots flying everywhere. And Rockerman, you got to capitalize on that one.
Oh, that was so chaotic there. Of course, it's Jolly Rogers finding that demo, and Acceleration almost had the opportunity, but on the other end here, it's the Vikings now with their opportunities, trying to make it happen, trying to force that Game 7 alert here as a shot towards the net. Oh, it's not going to go. A minute remaining now. The Vikings, their season on the line. Can they find one and force that Game 7?
Oh my goodness, this is so close, as both teams just swinging for the fences here. A heavyweight bout, if you will. Cat now with the solo play. Can he get it past two? He can't. Redwater now. The other side gets a nice little flick. CJ gonna be there to recover that one. Two up. Jolly Rogers with a bang downfield. He can't quite find it, but now they're on the back foot in the defense. Cat tries to 50 him out. He gets a nice 50. That's gonna go in the back of the net. Cat with another redirect, and oh my goodness, what a goal from him late in this Game 6.
Oh my goodness, a huge dunk. It's on the net. He finishes it off, and Vikings looking to force this Game 7. They gotta hold on though. 30 seconds. Acceleration. They have been known to score quickly.
Yes, they have, as Jolly Rogers not going for his kickoff strat this time. Instead, gonna get a nice pass over to Redwater. Up to Sepp. Sepp with the shot. Jolly Rogers. Oh, man. Are you hearing sea shanties? Because I sure am.
Oh, my goodness. Redwater with the touch there off the backboard, and Sepp just drops it down, and the Vikings couldn't do anything about it. It's Jolly Rogers coming up clutch, trying to end this series right here, right now.
Oh, man. I mean, if you wanted, for some reason, a heart attack, I mean, this is one way to do it. My heart is pounding right now for both of these squads, and can imagine what they're going through right now as Sepp off the sidewall. 12 seconds left. Cat now tries to get a touch. No! It's now over. Oh, my goodness. Redwater might have just won the series.
And Calamity on the back end there. I think it was Brad. I think he got caught on the post there a little bit, and it just flies in the back of the net. In 8 seconds, it might be all over.
Oh my goodness. 8 seconds left. Can Vikings come back from this? They're going to have to put everything on the line. Redwater with a very good kickoff, very good cheat. Oh my goodness, is Acceleration going to win this Rocket League series? The 6th seed. Have they just taken down the 3rd seed? I think they have. Rockerman, we have an absolute miracle to start things off for us. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, what a series there. Acceleration, the big upset there. The Vikings, who have been so hot, 10 of their last 11, and now 10 of their last 12, as they are done for the season. Acceleration, I mean, what a win from them there. They played really solid, took advantage of their opportunities, and Oh, the heartbreak for the Vikings. So close to forcing that game seven. Gallium 30 seconds away there from forcing it. But acceleration, as we mentioned, they can score in bunches and they win it in regulation with 2 goals in the last 30 seconds.
A great performance from them, and so many great performances that we've seen all day. And you know, I'm speechless after that last one. I mean, Novice League is surely shaping up to be one heck of a playoff bracket. And speaking of the Novice playoff bracket, if you haven't looked at it yet, it is in our Discord server. Unfortunately, we don't have quite enough time to show you guys here, but besides the Frost and Aurora game, all the games in the quarterfinals have been decided. So with that being said, we're moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, sending it up to the rival league, and we're gonna have a 1 versus 8 matchup the rest of the way. 2 games, 1 seed versus 8th seed, rival then Titan. We're about to get into things. Austin, I want to thank you again. You're always a pleasure to cast with, and I appreciate you for streaming today.
Of course, Gallum, it's always a fun time, but we're going to head to our break here. And then when we come back, Knights versus Hydra, a spicy one in the rival league. It's been an intense rival league. How will it shape out? We're going to have to find out in a couple minutes.